Okay, there we go. Welcome into AC Flora. That was fun. Turned myself a bit down, a bit hot it looks like. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe just a little off for a little too long, but welcome into AC Flora High School. It's AC Flora Baseball yet again. I know you've got enough fix of this, but of course, we're almost at the back end of what feels like a very long 2 weeks here. We will, I believe we'll play on Thursday away, then Friday, but I think for us it shouldn't matter. Hopefully we'll be off, at least for me and Jeff. I know all the parents will be going up there, so I apologize for that part if you are hoping. But no, I mean, Jeff and I will be doing today, and then I don't think we'll have another game until next Thursday, which is kind of weird after all the baseball we've done, or I guess maybe I've done, but that's beside the point. Yeah, so welcome in. Just me right now. I think Jeff said he'd tune in later. He's got lacrosse. It's back. He's back at it with lacrosse after a spring break. Good break for them. It felt like I think he was much needed. Jeff has done a lot of work with that lacrosse team, and yeah, I mean he helps coach JV and B team, as well as it feels like he's always with the varsity team. So yeah, Jeff's a very busy man. And so it's good for him to kind of get a little bit of a break last week, even though we have us here. But yeah, no, we're back. Should be a lot of fun today, and we're looking forward to it. I'll turn it over to Montague Lafitte, and we should be doing National Anthem plus starters. So yeah, I'll turn it over to him.
Your AC Flora Falcons. Tonight's matchup pits our guests from Dreher High School against your Falcons. With the players and coaches, please line up on your respective baselines. Would everyone please stand as we honor America with our national anthem.
A little better. All right. So, of course, Montague is going to do the starting lineups. We'll talk about our AC Flora Falcons. And again, we'll go around the diamond. We'll do the home team, and then we'll go visiting its Dreher here today. Back into region play after what it feels like basically 2 weeks out of region play. Played South Point here, what it feels like an eon ago, and now Dreher, a familiar foe here. So let's go around the diamond. On the mound is Tyler Hernandez. Behind the dish, Dylan Hernandez. First, Monty Lafitte. Second, Roperwensky. Shortstop, Joe Ray. Third base, Jack Chetwood. And left is Logan Price. Center, Charlie Scott. And right field is Lucas Price. He's being DH'd for by Rohan Bremer. And for the Blue Devils, leading off, the shortstop, Luke Lockard. Batting second, the center fielder, Terry Cantlow. Batting third on the bump, it's Joe Pullman. In the cleanup spot, Cam Hagens at first base. At second base, batting fifth, Josiah Maradita. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Lincoln Robinson. Seventh, the third baseman, Chase Washington. Behind the dish, batting eighth, Preston Amos. And the DH batting ninth, Landon Morris. He is DHing for Luke Knepp, who is in left field. Montague doesn't do such a good job with the intros, and he is introducing our AC Flora Falcons. Of course, this is a team we face a lot, just with, both now, of course, that are in our region, and just they're so close, one of the greatest rivalries, I feel like, in, the area. And of course, this has been a AC Flora series as of late. 9-1 since 2019, 12-3 since 2016, and 25-5 since 2008. This has been an AC Flora dominant series as of late. We're hoping to keep it that way. Our Falcons have such a talented roster, and you know, I think we kind of get caught up in the theatrics of last week. It's such a fun week for baseball and for everything that you look at the end of last week and you go 2 losses back to back. I mean, it's tough. It's not a fun way to end the week. And of course, the team that was hoping to not just win those games, but win the Forest Acres Classic for the first time in a senior's career, it ended up not happening. I think that was, you know, a good and a bad thing. I think, of course, the bad is, you know, losing. Obviously, losing sucks. But you look at the fun that kind of happened around the diamond. We were hitting when it mattered. We came back. We played from behind all 3 games. Won one of them. We're very close to, you know, winning the other 2. So we are looking forward to hopefully, you know, rebounding and moving back toward that back half. Now we have a couple of region games, about 3 sets of them, and then we play Mountain View Prep, who's a really, really good 3A team. We'll get to see them here in about 2 weeks, I believe. I think maybe a week and a half. And then we play Lugoff. Win DiBiase, the bat boy today. Me and Montague were told about that. We were excited to get to talk about the bat boy, but yeah, Win DiBiase, the bat boy. I was telling Montague, like Win Milliken. And then for the Win Milliken for lacrosse, and of course then DiBiase, the wrestler.
The red back seats have been purchased in advance of tonight's game.
All right. So Tyler on the hill, AC Flora looking to stay perfect in region play. Dreher looking for their 2nd win in region play. They beat Lancaster once a couple weeks ago. They come in 3-10. AC Flora 12-5. Falcons, Blue Devils. A story as old as time. AC Flora and Dreher for the first time here in 2026. Right versus left. Corners in here against Lockard. First pitch on the way from Tyler is a tap over grounder to the 2nd baseman. Roper makes the play to first, and there's 1 away. Easy does it out, number 1 here. Begin the game. Jeff gave me the big scoreboard today. This was fun.
Number 15, center fielder Terry.
I had the small one, the whole Forest Acres class, but it gave me like the massive stream deck with about 30 different buttons, and it's really cool to look at. It's very scary because, you know, there's a lot of power over here. Well, it's the right-handed Terry Cantlow now up here. First right-handed batter for Hernandez, who will kick and deal the first pitch. It's a fastball wide, called strike 1. Excuse me. It's gonna have to get back into play and calling mode. I feel like not enough time in the bed the last couple days with everything happening since that Thursday at Forest Acres. The 0-1. Fastball, that one's dribbled over to the shortstop. Ray's got it. Takes a couple steps to throw on to first is in time, and there's 2 away. Well, 2 quick outs here for Tyler Hernandez, who's been rolling on the mound. 6 starts, a 4-0 record, 1.38 ERA for the senior, 25 and a third innings pitched, 35 strikeouts, 8 walks. The USC Aiken commit. And now he'll get Joe Pullman. Right on right here for Hernandez. The first pitch on the way. Curveball called, strike 1. Breaks across the heart of the plate. Pullman leading this team in batting, averaging .385 coming into today. The 0-1 is rolled over to the left side and fouled with the Dreher dugout. Quickly 0-2 for Pullman. Hernandez looking for a 1-2-3 inning. About to throw his only 5th pitch of the first inning. It was 1 pitch to the leadoff man Lockhart, then 2 pitches to Cantlow. The 0-2, Tyler will wind and deal the pitch. Fastball up and away, ball 1. Tyler pitched an inning and 2/3 against his Dreher team last year. Got up 0 earned runs against the Blue Devils. Can he continue it right here? He'll wind and deal the 1-2. Fastball up around the letters. Tyler thought he was going back to the dugout. Instead, it'll be 2-2 now, here with 2 away in the opening frame. Dreher in their all blacks today. AC Flora in their all white pinstripes. I think they're a new uniform. I gotta love them. I'll be honest. They're probably one of my favorite ones we wear. 2's on the way. Breaking ball up and in, ball 3. And Pullman, after falling behind 0-2, has worked the count full. If it gets that far, Cam Hagens awaits on deck. The payoff on the way. Got him looking, strike 3. Froze him on the curveball on the inside edge, and Tyler will get back to the dugout. A 1-2-3 inning for AC Flora. We're scoreless going to the bottom of the first. All right, welcome back to AC Flora High School. It's AC Flora versus Dreher. Let's go down the batting order real quick for the Falcons before we get underway here in the bottom of the first. Charlie leads off, Roper second, Dylan third, Tyler fourth, Jack fifth, Monty sixth, Joe seventh, Rohan eighth, and Logan Price ninth. Around the diamond real quick, Pullman on the hill, Amos behind the dish, Hagens at first, Moratita at second, Lockard, Short in Washington at third, Canet in left, Cantlow in center, and Robinson in right field. Of course, this is a fun one, I think, for me especially because, you know, with me doing the Legion games, it's a cool, you know, kind of outlook. I get to see a lot of the Dreher players who play Legion ball at the 215. Of course, the local Legion team, Coach Dorsey host in the summer. We had a lot of these kids playing AAA ball with us last year, and a couple of Blue Devils have played some varsity with us previously. Last year was Jacob Muir and Miller Peel, both former Blue Devils. Of course, they graduated, but they were still very big pieces to that state championship winning team last year. All right, put the background music off, and the Falcons will come up to bat. It'll be Charlie Scott leading off for AC Flora, who's been on a tear as of late. 15 of his last 24 for Charlie, hitting .468 coming into the game. And Pullman working against such a talented order. 22 and a third innings pitched, 6 starts, a 1-4 record, 6.58 ERA for Pullman. Can he work around just such a dangerous, talented AC Flora lineup? The first pitch on the way. Fastball called, strike one on the outside edge. Charlie hit 4 RBIs over 3 games against the Blue Devils last season. He'll await the 1-0. Pullman will fire the pitch. Breaking ball is in the left-handed box. 1 ball, 1 strike here to the leadoff man. Charlie, I think one of the more underrated things Charlie's been doing, 9 doubles in the season. He's been raking at the plate, not just for power and speed, but he gets the second a lot, the 1-1. Change up low, ball 2. And, you know, looking at the stats, it's funny. Charlie actually has more doubles than singles here in 2026. I think that's a crazy stat to look at just in general. And field shift to the right, playing back here against Scott. The 2-1. Change up inside, ball 3. Charlie works ahead. Scott with 11 walks this season. Looking to add maybe a 12th on him. 3 balls, 1 strike here. Nobody gone in the bottom of the first. The leadoff man for AC Flora looking to start the Falcons off hot here. Pullman wheel and deal, the 3-1. That's grounded over to the shortstop. Lockhardt's got in a little hop. Has to make a quick throw to first, and it is just in time to beat Scott. It's a 6-3 put out for out number 1.
Stepping to the plate for the Falcons, second baseman, number 7.
Next up, it's Roper Wensky. Roper had a big couple hits in the Classic, including the walk-off against Lexington in game number 1. The senior comes in hitting .352 over 51 at bats. Right on, right here for Pullman. He'll kick and deal. The first pitch is change up inside for ball 1. Well, early Pullman's lived on that inside edge here against the back-to-back righties he'll face. See how he attacks Roper here. He's behind 1-0 in the count. Pullman fires the 1-0. Called strike one. Breaking ball on the outside edge. After the inside changeup to start off Roper-Wensky, he follows up with an outside changeup or breaking ball. Now it's 1-1. Falcon dugout lively over there today. The 1-1. Breaking ball in there. Good eye from Roper. 2 balls, 1 strike now to the 2-hole hitter. Of course, we've seen Roper-Wensky so many times here on Definite Fiction. All-state second baseman his sophomore year. He hit 400 last year. He awaits the 2-1. As Pullman, he'll kick and deal the pitch. Breaking ball. That one's shot down the left field line, but it will hook foul. Roper got ahead of a changeup, and now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. We've never seen Roper put one out here at Falcon Field. He's not known as the power hitter of this bunch, but he gets on base with the best of them. A .403 on-base percentage last season, .516. The College of Charleston commit. May not hit for power like his, predecessor before. Charlie Scott, the leadoff man, but he will find a way to get on base. 2 balls, 2 strikes to him. Pullman kicks and deals the pitch. Breaking ball. That one's lined right back up the middle. That will fall in right center field, and that may go out to the wall. Roper-Wensky will take the hard turnaround first. He'll trudge for second. Roper taking a stop around second. It looked like he wanted to go. Coach Howlett held the stop sign up. So it'll be a stand-up, 1-out double for Roper-Wensky. Looked like Cantlow was just playing him a little left center. It's kind of hard to see Cantlow from me right now with the sun glaring down and those black jerseys. He blends in with the center field wall. And now it's Dylan Hernandez digging in. 1 away, runner on second. Scoreless so far here in the bottom of the first. Flora trying to break through the Blue Devils here early and get off to an early quick start. Right on right. Hernandez awaits the first pitch. The changeup low in the dirt, ball 1. Amos gloves it. This will be something AC Flora was unable to do in the Classic. They were played from behind pretty much the entirety of last week. However, of course, this Falcon team the good thing is, of course, they felt used to playing behind. They started producing in late in those games, and Dylan had one of those big hits, the 1-0. Changeup inside, ball 2. I obviously, of course, look back on a couple of things, and I'm starting to sift through all my calls from last week. I think Dylan has one of my early favorites. It's always easy to call a home run or strikeout. I feel like it's never easy to call the tying run of the plate, and Dylan hit that game-tying RBI against Indian Land last Wednesday. The 2-0. Change up in the dirt, backhanded by Amos. Now 3-0 here against Hernandez. Dylan was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs against Indian Land. He's ahead 3-0 here against Pullman. Of course, his brother Tyler awaits on deck to follow. Field shift to the left here against Hernandez. The right-hander awaits. Pullman, staring contest, will step off the rubber. Now Hernandez will get back in. A couple of bat twirls in the box as Pullman gets set. And now a pick off to second. Bouncing it in. Nice job from Moratita to keep that one in the infield. Looked like it was a little spiked, maybe about a foot in front of the second baseman as Wensky dived back into the bag. Sun glaring down over that right side, engulfing Falcon Field in shadows, barring a couple streaks. Pullman working slow. He'll kick and deal the 3-0. Breaking ball called, strike 1. Broke right across the heart of the plate. A very slow breaking ball that I must have probably come in at 60. We don't have the radar guns here this week like we did last week, but that was a very slow breaking ball, maybe down to the 50s. Pullman will kick and deal the 3-1 on the way. It's popped into the air on the right side of the infield. First baseman Hagen's drifting back right behind his bag. He reaches over and it will drop on the right field grass for what will probably be ruled as an error. Wensky will take third and it will be ruled as an E3.
Stepping to the plate.
So that'll put runners at the corners now for Tyler Hernandez.
The pitcher, Tyler Hernandez.
The right-handed pitcher will be the first left-handed bat Pullman faces this evening. Hernandez, a 4-year starter here at AC Flora, but became really a mainstay in the lineup as a catcher his freshman season. Was a catcher all his sophomore year before, of course, it was his brother Dylan taking over the mantle. More really last year. Southpaw waits. The right-handed Pullman will step off and look both runners back again. Roper at third. You have Dylan at first, or potentially a courtesy runner. It's hard to see. Looks like that will be a courtesy runner. Maybe Brennan Fudger. Pullman fires the first pitch. Change up low and away. Ball one off the outside edge.
Courtesy runner for the Falcons, number 37, Henry Shaw.
That'll be Henry Shalcom courtesy running. Again, that's probably the hardest part for me to see right now. That one's right in front of the sun. Hopefully about 5 minutes should go down. The 1-0 is pop foul right behind home plate, and it'll go into the netting. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away now. In the bottom of the first, AC Flora and Dreher still tied, but the Falcons trying to break through the Blue Devils. Pullman, a long pause on the hill. He'll wait and now step off. Both runners go back. There's not really a hold on third for Roper Wensky. However, there is a hold on the first base, Henry Shalcom. Hagen's trying to keep what potentially double play ball in play as the 1-1 on the way is a changeup up and away for ball 2. After the large crowds we had last week with a lot of animosity and a lot of, liveliness, I think is the better word for that. It's a little quieter here at Falcon Field. Henry goes, the 2-1 is tapped foul to the left side. It'll be 2-2. Shalcom will have to jog back to first. That's probably one of my favorite parts about the Classic. You get a ton of different fans and parents from pretty much all over. And they're all very excited to watch some great baseball. And last week left a little to be desired. It was a great week of baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the way. The pitch is a changeup in the dirt. Good eye from Tyler. 3-2 now. Hernandez, the team leader with 12 walks in the year, has worked the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away here. Runners at the corners for the cleanup hitter, Tyler Hernandez. Can the senior add to his already 15 RBI total here in 2026? And he'll call time. Pullman will try to call, set. I remember yesterday, the viral now video between the Mets and the Dodgers, where Alvarez called time as the catcher, and pitcher never saw him, almost threw a ball as Alvarez was walking towards him. Thankfully, it doesn't happen there. Now Pullman will fire. The payoff on the way is a grounder down the left field line that will go foul, and we'll do it one more time. Well, the sun is now finally behind the trees. I can take my sunglasses off after it was blaring on the right side. Lights are starting to now turn on at Falcon Field right as I say that as well. Dugouts now getting loud for the Falcons. Pullman on the hill. Now we'll kick and deal the payoff. Breaking ball, that one's hammered into right field. Going back is Robinson. Toward the track, he puts his glove up, and it's over his glove, and a 1 bounce the wall. Wensky will score. Shalcom will come to third, and Tyler Hernandez will stand in with an RBI double. It's now 1-0 Falcons here in the bottom of the first.
Stepping to the plate for the Falcons, number 1, third baseman Jack Chetwood.
So now it's Jack Chetwood up, right on a courtesy runner at second. Jack Long will run for the pitcher, Tyler. So both Hernandezes are back in the dugout. Of course, Tyler notably saying last week on air, he said, I love being pitch run for when I'm pitching, and right there. Right on right, first pitch to Chetwood's called strike 1. Breaking ball breaks right across the heart of the dish. Well, if Charlie Scott may be the hottest Falcon, Jack Chetwood's not far behind him for the second. 14 of his last 24 for Jack and 9 of his last 16. He's been raking for AC Flora in that 5-game span, 3 doubles. The 0-1. Breaking ball. That one's flown into right center field. Coming on is the center fielder, Cantlow. He'll call off the right fielder, lose his hat, make the running grab for out number 2. Tagging at third and scoring is Henry Shalcom. Staying at second is Long. It's a sacrifice fly, and now a 2-0 Falcon lead.
Stepping to the plate, number 32, first baseman, Monty Lafitte.
And now it's Monty Lafitte up. 2-0 lead for AC Flora. Runner on second in the bottom of the first. And the Falcons tack on here. It's Monty Lafitte right on right. Another right-hander here for Pullman. Can he work himself out of trouble here in the first? Pullman fires the first pitch. Breaking ball is called. Strike one on the outside edge. Monty hitting .400 this season. The senior 1 for 3 with a big 2 RBI double against Indian Land in his last game on Wednesday. Probably one of my favorite one-liners from the game last week. Do the dance is thought of it on the spot. The 0-1. Breaking ball is popped into the air in the shallow infield right behind second base. Calling everyone off his shortstop locker, and he makes the two-handed grab to retire the side. Well, 2 doubles, an RBI double from Hernandez, and a sacrifice fly from Jack Chetwell get us going. A 2-0 lead for AC Flora going on to the second. We come back. Welcome back to Falcon Field. It's a 2-0 lead for AC Flora entering the second inning here against their cross-town rivals in Dreher. Tyler, after working a 9-pitch, 1-2-3 top of the first, will come back out for the second. He'll get 4, 5, 6 Hagens, Maratita, and Robinson for the Blue Devils, and leading it off, Cam Hagens. Right on right. Hernandez will wind and deal the first pitch to Hagens. The fastball that goes straight to the net for ball one, way high. Hagens is one of the players that played on this 2-1-5 team last summer, the AAA team to be exact, with a lot of these Falcons. The 1-0. Fastball inside, ball two. Hagens now having a successful junior campaign, hitting .320 for the Blue Devils, 10 RBIs. The 2-0. Fastball wide, ball three, and Hernandez, after starting off the top of the Dreher order hot, is now falling behind 3-0 here to the leadoff man in the second. The hulking righty awaits. The 3-0 on the way is a fastball up high, a 4-pitch walk to Hagens. Hagens draws his 11th walk in the season. He will now fall one behind Luke Knopp. That's the 12 walks is the walk leader. And now Josiah Maratita will dig in for the first time today. That's not good. Signal just cut out on me. May just be a little, I have to assume, I think Jeff probably didn't change the settings on this camera. I'll be 1 second here. First pitch on the way from Tyler is called, strike one. Fastball on the outside edge. I'm just going to turn it off and turn it back on. I think it should be fine once we get back down. The temperature shouldn't be that bad. Apologies for the lack of commentary. Hopefully just cut back on for everyone at home. The 0-1. Fastball's flown to the right side and foul out of play. If it keeps happening off to College F, I'm hoping it's going to be fine. Again, it usually does this when it's a little hotter. However, now that the temperatures are really dipping down, it was about 80s at first pitch, and now this is 85. I don't feel like it's 85 out here, I'll be honest. The 0-2. Change up in the dirt. Dillon can't block it. It falls right in front of him, which will allow Hagens to run to first. Or run to second, rather, excuse me. So 1-2 is the count. Dreher's first run of the game at second. You know, even though AC Flora won these 3 games last year, these games felt a lot closer in the beginning. It wasn't really until the later innings where AC Flora was able to pull away. Can Dreher continue that trend here? 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Martito waits the pitch. Fastball wide, ball 2. Hernandez will kick and deal. Looks to the running back at second. Hagens, a slow get back, is not in time. It's a little high. It looked like he caught Hagens lacking off the second base bag, but slower tag from Joe Ray, and Hagens able to stand back in safely. Freshman with a 200 batting average awaits at the dish. Very young Dreher team this season. Looking to build a marquee win here against AC Flora. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hernandez will wind and deal the 2-2. A fastball in the dirt. Another full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the now 5-hole hitter. Hernandez has limited his walks so far this season. Only 8 coming into the day, now with 9. Danger of hitting double digits. Tyler wind and deal the 3-2. Got him looking, strike 3. Froze him on ice with the heater on the outside edge, and that's the first out here of the second. The Woo Ken, that's probably my favorite strikeout little sound bite we have here. And now Lincoln Robinson will dig in. Another right-handed bat in this Blue Devil order. 1 away, runner at second is Hagens. First pitch from Hernandez. The breaking ball's in the dirt, ball 1. Hernandez behind the dish. Blocks it, keeping Hagens at second.
Now batting, number 5, Lincoln Robinson.
One ball, no strikes. Hernandez fires the pitch. Fastball wide, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Hernandez, after a very strong first inning, has started to struggle to find the zone here just a tad. The 2-0. Fastball spiked in. Hernandez can't backhand it. They'll trickle to the backstop, and Hagens will take third. So 3 balls, no strikes, 1 away here in the top of the second. Dreher trying to cut into this 2-0 AC Flora lead. Sun is now behind the trees. Lights are fully on here at Falcon Field. The 3-0. Fastball called, strike 1, right down the middle. Had to have a strike there, and Hernandez delivers. 3-1 here to Robinson. He'll wind and throw back to third, but he will hold the throw. It looked like Hagens was ready for it that time after he was caught off the bag earlier. Was able to get back in just ahead of the tag. Robinson looking for his second hit of the season as the 3-1 is called. Strike 2, finds the outside edge. Robinson hitting .077 with runners in scoring position. Can he find a hit here? The payoff is a fastball in the dirt. And now 2 walks in the inning. Walk number 10 for Tyler this season puts runners at the corners with only 1 away. So Chase Washington was up next.
Number 6, Chase Washington.
A southpaw here for Hernandez, and Dylan will come out and talk to his, well, no, he will not. He would just do some first, third motions, it looks like. You know, I remember talking to Dylan last week. He said the biggest change in the high school rules is you're only able to get one mound visit as the catcher to talk to your pitcher. He has to use it wisely every inning. Southpaw waits Hernandez on the hill. Will kick and deal the first pitch. Fastball's rolled over to the right side and foul. It'll be Monty fielding it in foul ground, and Hagens was halfway down the line. It would have been either a pickle or thrown out at home. Not really sure what we would have went for. Either way, though, it's only 0-1 now, the count. Washington also looking for his second hit of the season. He awaits the 0-1, runner goes. The pitch, fastball low, ball one. The throw in the third is going to go in the left field, gets behind the runner Hagens. So Chet was not able to field it. Now the breaking for third is Robinson. That ball skims away in the infield, so it'll be a runner on third. 1 run for Dreher scores, and it's ball 1. Well, a lot just happened there. Let's recap all of it. It was a fastball low for ball 1. The throwback was to third as the runner on first. Robinson broke for second. It was a wild throw by Dylan into the left field side, which allowed Hagens to score and Robinson to get third. 1-1 the count now. The man at the dish holds off. It's Washington who leaves the bat in the shoulder for the curveball in the dirt. Now 2-1. The bat started to move for Washington. Ended up not pulling the trigger. The 2-1 on the way. Fastball inside, ties up. Washington goes around. Runner at third will stay there as Robinson is. That ball trickled away from Hernandez, not far enough to allow another runner. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away here in the top of the second. Dreher gets one of those 2 runners back. Now a 2-1 ball game here with the visiting Blue Devils trying to tie it up here against AC Flora. They have a runner 90 feet away at third. Tyler get a big punch out here. Find a path out of this inning. The 2-2. Fastball is just tapped foul. Washington gets a piece of it to stay alive. This Falcon team came in number 2 in 4A in the latest Diamond Prospects updated pools. Just behind Fountain Inn. The 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung through and missed. It'll actually be dropped from Hernandez. He'll look the runner back at third and make a throw down to first for out number 2. I think he's a little upset with himself that he dropped it. It was a good location from Hernandez as he punches out his third batter here of the game.
Your catcher, Preston Amos.
So Preston Amos will come up to the dish, the catcher. Right on, right, 2 away now. Runner at third for the Blue Devils as they trail 2-1 here against AC Flora in the top of the second. The sophomore awaits as the senior kicks and deals. The first pitch is a fastball that shut down the first base line and foul. 0-1. Amos just 0 for 6 on the season. Looking for a marquee hit here against AC Flora to tie this game up. The 0-1. Fastball up around the eyes, ball 1. Tyler will kick and deal the 1-1. Swung through and missed. Sped a fastball by on the outside edge. Now it's 1-2. Can Amos deliver in the clutch? A team that hits .291 with runners in scoring position. These Blue Devils, the underdogs coming into this game, can they find a way to tie it? The 1-2. Fastball is tapped foul. Amos stays alive. Dreher will be staying in 4A next year. These Blue Devils, we will be actually be in the same region again, so 2 more years of these matchups. Should be a good one. 1-2 on the way. Fastball wide. Hernandez behind the dish. Almost falls over grabbing. It'll stay 2-2. Talk about a little probably more about how Dreher's path to staying in 4A was. They wanted to move back down to 3A. Instead, were forced to stay in 4A. 2-2 on the way from Tyler. Fastball throws him. Got looking. Pitch inside for strike 3, and that will retire this side. Tyler leaves the tying run at third base, but Dreher gets one back. A 2-1 lead for AC Flora going to the bottom of the second. Welcome back to Falcon Field. A 2-1 lead for AC Flora as they'll bring the bottom of the lineup up. It'll be 7-8-9 here against Pullman. Ray, Bremer, Price. As Joe Ray leads off here for AC Flora. Joe Ray was inserted in the lineup as a freshman, more of a fielder, but however, his bats really come alive, hitting .435 for AC Flora here in 2026. Right on right, Pullman fires as the bluffed bunt is pulled back. Ball one and a changeup inside, right on right to begin the bottom of the second. Infield playing Ray back. He has been lightning in a bottle so far for AC Flora as the 1-2 bunt is pulled back and called strike one. The curveball finds the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Against the Warriors, Ray was 2 for 3 with a double. The 1-1. Breaking ball that hits Joe Ray in the back, slipped out of the hand of Pullman. The leadoff man is aboard here for AC Flora in the bottom of the second.
Step to the plate, designated hitter number 28.
Now it's Rohan Bremer digging in. The right-hander away to the dish, one of the most talented juniors here in the state. First pitch on the way, runner goes, pitch called, ball one inside. The throw will be lollipopped over the second baseman's head as the shortstop behind him covers. So a stolen base for Joe Ray and ball one taken. Now Rohan Bremer was the RBI leader on this team last year. 32 RBIs, looking for just number 8 here in 2026. And the junior start rolling here, 1-0. Breaking ball is slicing to the right side, popped in the air, and it will go foul out of play towards the Falcon bullpen. With a glass shattering animation to boot. Rohan was a vital part of this offense last year. He's been such a good part of it again this year. 3 home runs, 32 RBIs in his sophomore campaign. One of the top second basemen in this junior class to deliver. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Bremer awaits, infield shading him to the left, so is the outfield. Pullman fires the 1-1's a breaking ball there, skips away from Amos. Joe Ray will take third. So 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody gone now in the bottom of the second. twirl the bat, put it over his shoulder. Infield now just playing him back straight up, not shaded to the left. The 2-1. Change up call, strike 2 on the inner third. Bremer had 2 RBIs against this Blue Devil team last year. Can he find his first this year with a runner on third? 2-2 now the count. Infield all of a sudden will come in now with the 2 strikes on Bremer. Shift him just a tad to the right. The 2-2. Breaking ball is pop foul. Bremer stays alive after Pullman throws his best slider of the day, it looked like. Pullman not a strikeout pitcher. 16 coming into the day compared to 21 walks. He's looking for his first though, and none potentially bigger than to find the first out here in the bottom of the second with the Falcon threat brewing. Pullman, couple glances at third, will kick and deal the 2-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, Bremer lays off. It'll be a full count now to Rohan Bremer. The junior has drawn 8 walks so far this season. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bremer awaits, Pullman fires the pitch. That one's lined right back into center field, coming on his Cantlow, and now it's over his head. That ball just kept carrying and carrying. It will one bounce the wall. Bremer on his horse will go to second. He will stand in with an RBI double. That ball was laced into center. I don't think it was dropping, and then all of a sudden that ball got a second life, went all the way to the wall.
Stepping to the plate, left fielder, number 2, Logan Price.
Big hit for Rohan Bremer, now RBI number 8 on the season, and Logan Price, the 9th man in the order, will come up for the first time today. The young sophomore is becoming a mainstay in this lineup more and more as the year goes on, hitting .265. Can he flip the lineup over, keep this Falcon pressure on? Right on right, runner at second. Pullman will kick and look back the runner at second. It looked like Locker was coming to flash right behind Bremer, but Bremer wasn't buying the bid or the fake. He was just staying put, eyes firmly on Pullman. Not a terribly big lead at second for him as well. Couple more glances. Now Pullman deals the first pitches. Breaking ball outside, ball 1. It was a bluff bunt as well from Price as he was able to kind of keep it back. Not an easy thing to do when those pitchers continue to step off. They want to see your hand. Price wasn't going to show it. Finally does show his hand. It's ball 1. The 1-0. Price shows bunt. It's bunted to the left side. This could be trouble. Pullman on the back. Looks at third. No one there. The throw into first is not in time, and no one's covering. Maratita took late to get over, so Price will take second. Bremer will trot home with the 4th Falcon run of the day. And it will be a hit and an error for Price to score now. It's a 4-1 lead.
Stepping to the plate.
Pullman looked at third to try to get the lead runner, Bremer. However, Washington, the third baseman, crashed, so threw it to first. Maratita took a little time to get over. That ball goes right off the carom into right field. Logan Price takes second. Rohan Bremer comes home. 4-1 lead for AC Flora. Back to the top of the order, it's Charlie Scott. Right on right, and Charlie, having seen Pullman, he grounded out to the shortstop his first time, and a balk called against Pullman before the first pitch was even thrown to Charlie, so now another run for AC Flora, move 90 feet closer. Charlie hitting .625 with runners in scoring position. Leads AC Flora. First pitch to the right-handers. Call, strike 1. Change up low in the zone. And I might add, Charlie also leads this team with 25 RBIs. Oh, and 6 homers. Just in case you were wondering how many categories he leads this team in. It's a lot. Average home runs, doubles, triples, batting average, runners in scoring position, RBIs, everything. The 0-1. Breaking ball, that one's a line drive over the third baseman's head to the left field. Knepp will run it down. Charlie on his horse. The team leader in doubles adds his 10th. It's an RBI to boot as well, and now it's 5-1 AC Flora.
Up next for the Birds, number 7, second baseman, Roper
The Falcons, who are
Winsky.
started off hot here against Dreher. Now 5 hits, 5 runs, still nobody gone in the bottom of the second for Roper Winsky. Right on right. Roper Winsky with 17 RBIs coming to this at-bat. A .556 batting average, runners in scoring position. Pullman will step off. Winsky now the 5th batter to come up in the inning. Can he keep the train moving? Pullman, a lot of glances at second. Now will pitch. The first pitch to Roper is called strike 1. Changeup on the inside edge. Infield shifting, Roper playing very tight up the middle. Expecting more of a line drive in that sense. Roper doubled back in his first at-bat. He awaits the 0-1. Changeup almost hits Roper, stays inside. Now that throw back to second as Charlie got off the bag is not in time. Charlie with a massive secondary lead, trying to take third if that ball broke away from Amos. It does not, and Amos not able to throw him out back at second. So 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody gone, bottom second. AC Flora now in control 5-1 after 3 opening runs here to begin their bottom second frame. Winsky will call time as Scott at second, staring at Pullman from both sides. The 1-1. Breaking ball stays in, tight ball 2. Lights are fully in effect as the sky starts to darken here at Falcon Field. Lights lighting up the field, no more shadows engulfing. The 2-1. Change up in the dirt, gets away from Amos, but he'll throw it in a third and not in time. Scott will swipe the bag after a pitch in the dirt. It'll be a 3-1 count. The AD Coach Yater here to watch her Falcon baseball team. She's a busy woman running all around AC Flora High School. You have soccer over to the right of me and then softball way far to the right of me. The 3-1 on the way. Breaking ball at one's chopped over to the third baseman. Washington gloves it. Can't throw to home, so he'll throw it to first. It is in time for an out, but an RBI ground out makes it 6-1. As Scott got a good break on that ball, Washington didn't want to test it.
Step to the plate for the Falcons. Number 12, Dylan
Base is cleared now for Dylan Hernandez. Infield playing back against Hernandez, who mashed his first homer of the season 2 weeks ago. That was on Coach Hallett's 600th win. Right on right. Pullman will fire the first pitch. Fastball wide, ball 1. And to know, of course, a week later, last week, Dylan had potentially the hardest hit ball of his life against the Miller School. He told me after the game, he said, I thought it was on time. I don't know where that missed, as that ball shot down the left field line and ended up hooking about 4 feet foul left in the left field pole. Bases cleared as Hernandez will call time at the dish. The junior reached on an error. Back his first go around. He now gets back in the box with the 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball breaks a little too low. It's ball 2. No one up in the Dreher bullpen. They're going to try to push Pullman. They're leaders in innings pitch so far this season. It's behind 6-1 to AC Flora. The 2-0 pitch. Change up upstairs, up around the letters. Now 3-0 to the 3-hole. It's the cleanup. His brother Tyler, who waits on deck. However, Pullman has really not made a competitive pitch this at bat. He'll come home, the 3-0. Call, strike 1. Fastball paints the outside part of the plate. This has been Dreher's issue this year, a 9.34 ERA, averaging over 11 runs they've given up in every game. The 3-1. Breaking ball stays in tight. A 5-pitch walk to Hernandez, who kind of just tosses the bat back to the dugout as he sheds his gear. I say kind of because that ball that kind of flew out of his hand. I was like, does it go inside? That'll go back to the dugout. And now we have mound visit here for Pullman. Issued his first walk of the day. We'll be right back here on Definite Fiction. Welcome back to Falcon Field. There's some action over there in that little bullpen now as Landon Morris, who's acting as the DH tonight, is getting warm.
Your pitcher, number 21, Tyler.
It's a 6-1 lead for the Falcons here against the Blue Devils in the bottom of the second. They'll to add to it with a runner on first and one away. Henry Shalcom will courtesy run for Dylan Hernandez, the catcher at first, as on the left-handed Tyler Hernandez digs in for his second time here. First pitch, runner goes. That pitch is grounded through the right side of the infield for a base knock. Shalcom will take the turn. He'll go to third as that ball kicked away by Robinson will go all the way to the wall. Coming around third is Shalcom. He will stand in the home as Hernandez, a hit in the air, will bring home another one. It's now 7-1. Tyler hit in the hole that was vacated by the second baseman, Moratita.
Falcons, number 38,
Now Jack Long will come out to second base to run for Tyler, who will reach second for the second time today. He's had a double and now a single, as Jack Chetwood will come up for the second time today. Another right-on-right matchup here as Chetwood a sacrifice fly into center his first go-around. Long at second. Pullman will kick and deal the first pitch change-up called. Strike one in the inner third. AC Flora scored 7 runs. 6 of them have been earned against Pullman. Chetwood awaits as the 8th man in the inning to come up. The 0-1 is a breaking ball bounced in. Amos can't pick it up. It was a little away from him. Looked like he had a chance to throw long out, but he does not. It'll be ball number 1. Amos had to quickly barehand it and throw it down to third. It just wasn't in time. It looked like he might have had a chance. Ended up not happening. On deck is the 9th man of the inning up, Monty Lafitte, and the lineup will flip back over to Joe Ray, who led off the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pullman will deal. Infield comes in. Curveball will be called. Ball 2 stays inside. AC Flora undefeated in region play. It's looking more and more like as the back half of the season starts to unfold. It'll be York and AC Flora for the region in that final week of the regular season. The 2-1, that ball is a hard grounder that gets past the second baseman's glove. Moratita into right field. That'll be ruled as a hit and an RBI single for Jack Chetwood. It's now 8-1.
Stepping to the plate, first baseman, number 32, Monty.
So now Monty Lafitte will come up. He popped out to the shortstop his first go-around. Right-hander's been hitting the tar off of baseballs, but a lot of them have been finding a glove as of late. Can he deliver here? Right on right. Chetwood at first, 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. AC Flora, bottom of the 2nd. AC Flora has tacked on 6 runs here in the bottom of the 2nd to make this an 8-1 lead, as Lafitte will call time. Looks like it may be all for Pullman. Had a good start, but just couldn't figure out this AC Flora lineup as the Falcons pile it on. An 8-1 lead. We'll be right back here at Falcon Field. A pitching change when we come back. Welcome back to Falcon Field. It's the southpaw Landon Morris getting warm for Dreher after a long-winded talk, and I'll put some music on in the background. It looked like he was about to be done, and then I guess they decided to have to throw a couple more. But after a long-winded talk between Coach Smalls and Pullman, Pullman's ball will be taken. His day, at least on the hill, will be done. He will stay in the game, though, as Pullman way too talented to take out of the lineup here for the Blue Devils. Dreher trails 8-1 here against their crosstown rivals, and they're trying to figure out a way to break through what's been a talented AC Flora lineup. Right now, AC Flora is playing their part of the talented. They are ahead by 7 runs and have 6 runs here scored at the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Monty Lafitte, the 9th man of the inning, up to greet the southpaw Morris, who's now making his 7th appearance on the hill.
Now batting for the Falcons, number 32, first baseman, Monty Lafitte.
Monty popped out to the shortstop against Pullman his first go-around. Now the southpaw Amos will step in. The southpaw fires, the breaking ball doesn't break, and it stays upstairs for ball 1. Morris, 8.08 ERA over 13 innings pitched. And he calmed the storm. The 1-0. Breaking ball is tapped into the catcher's mask and fouled. It'll be 1 ball, 1 strike now as Amos shakes it off. Well, these two teams will play game number 2 at Dreher on Thursday. It's, for those not familiar with the area, that is actually right by the Falcons football stadium, which we actually share with Dreher, Memorial Stadium. And then I believe it is Lugoff Elgin on Friday. That's away. 1-1. Breaking ball stays wide, ball 2. Next year, those two teams will comprise our region along with Westwood, RNE, and Lancaster. Dreher was trying to go back down to 3A, but unsuccessfully appealed. Morris will throw back to first, the 2-1. It's going to be a little late as Chetwood will slide back in. Dreher's whole point was a lot of their transfers come in for academic reasons, not sport-related reasons, but the board said that's not how that works. So Dreher will stay in 4A next year. The 2-1. Breaking ball, that one's a hot shot high and deep out to center field. Cantlow ranging back toward the track. He looks up and will make the two-handed grab for out number 2. Long throw back into first is going to be a little late. A good throw from Cantlow. A couple sets behind Chetwood. It's a long out number 2. Well, Monty, who's in search of his first homer, keeps hitting the ball, but it's not at its hottest temperature.
Number 9, shortstop.
He shot one up the left field wall on Wednesday last week, and this was a high deep ball to center, but that summer air hasn't quite kicked in yet, at least as of now, and the humidity keeps that ball just short of the wall. The right-hander Joe Ray will dig in. First pitch curveball upstairs for ball 1. Joe Ray led off the inning. He was hit by a pitch, where then he came around to score the first of 6 runs AC Flores tacked on here in the bottom of the second. Southpaw fires the 1-0 is called. Ball 2, thrown in a second. A good throw is not in time. Chetwood just beat the tag in safely. It'll be the 7th stolen bag for Chetwood, and AC Flora has a runner in scoring position. 2-0 the count. Well, back to the point I was making. Dreher trying to move back down to 3A. There's a couple teams moving back down to 3A next year, notably that are in 4A, and one of them in our region, Camden, move back down to 3A. The 2-0 is shot foul right behind home plate. It'll be 2-1. The other big notable one is Airport. They're the defending 4A state champions for baseball. Those are the couple teams among others. York will stay in 4A, but they'll get more of a Rock Hill region with them and South Point. The 2-1. Curveball, and there it goes between the legs of Amos, and that will allow Chetwood to take third off the wild pitch. I guess the more shocking news from coming back down to 4A is going to be that Irmo team. Irmo, a big 5A team that, you know, has become much a mainstay in the football world. They'll come back down to 4A, but they won't be in our region. They'll get more of an Aiken region. The 3-1. Curveball called, strike 2, broken right across the heart of the plate. It'll be a full count now to Joe Ray. 2 away here in the bottom of the second. AC Flora looking for another insurance run. They have an 8-1 lead here against the Blue Devils. Now working out of the windup, Morris comes home. The curveball is popped into the air in the left side. It will go into center field, and looks like after trailing back, and I think that ball's lost. I don't even know that fell, and it fell into left center field, so Joe Ray, who never stopped running, will slide into third. I think everyone lost that, including myself. That ball was popped up, and it looked like it fell in left center. A little weird way as AC Flora tacks on another one. It's 9-1. Weirdly enough, that can't be rolled in the air because it never touched the glove. So it will be a triple for Joe Ray. And in kind of funny news, he takes over the lead from Tyler Hernandez, who both had 2 triples. Now it's Rohan Brenner, right on right, first pitch, called, strike 1, curveball in the top of the zone. Both Tyler and Joe had 2 triples, now Joe has 3. I completely lost where that ball was, and so did the center fielder Cantlow. The 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice stop from Amos to keep that runner at third. It'll be 1-1 now to Bremer. He got the inning going with a RBI double earlier this inning. He's now out for the second time today. And this inning, it's a 1-1 count to him. 2 away. Morris still working out of the windup will fire. Change up low, ball 2. Well, for Dreher in the third, it's 9-1-2. Morris, Lockhart, and Cantlow due up for the Blue Devils. It's been all AC Flora here so far. 2-1. Swung through and missed. Breaking ball gets by Bremer. It's 2-2. Looked like Bremer was trying to cap off already a 7-run inning. So swing for the fences there. Morris will wind and deal. The 2-2 is tapped foul, and we'll do it one more time. Bremer trying to keep that right shoulder from dipping. Going through his motion. All right. Doing the more, trying to keep his swing level, plane. Not easy to do, take it from me. You're naturally trying to dip that back shoulder. The 2-2. Change up stays inside. It'll be a 3-2 now with 2 away. Well, if it gets that far, Logan Price awaits on deck. Bremer already the 11th batter of the inning. The payoff on the way. Breaking ball stays upstairs. Bremer draws the walk to keep the inning going.
Number 2, left fielder Logan Price.
Well, Logan Price bunted for a single last time. He would have reached base safely over that ball that was thrown by Pullman, went all the way into right field after a wild throw. Now that left line, third base line is open. Right-hander for the southpaw. First pitch is called, strike 1. Curveball on the top of the zone. We got Bremer at first. Over at third is Joe Ray after the sliding triple. Can Logan Price deliver and keep the inning going? The 0-1. Fastball runs in tight, skips away from Amos, and that will allow Joe Ray to come home and score the 10th run for AC Flora in 8th this inning. It's a 10-1 lead. That'll be the first earned run tacked on to Morris. The previous 8 were tacked on to Pullman. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away now to the 9-hole Price. Morris fires, the breaking ball is called, strike 2 on the outside edge. If he gets that far, it's the top of the order. Back on deck, Charlie Scott. He'll be up for the 3rd time in the game. Morris trying to work out of the second here. Comes set, the 1-2. Breaking ball's popped into the air on the right side of the infield. Moratita has a read. Goes in the shallow right and will make the 2-handed grab to retire the side. Well, 12 Falcons come to bat. They attack on in the 8-run second inning and lead it 10-1 going to the 3rd. We come back.
Falcons.
Well, I actually do want to talk about our sponsor here just a little bit before we head to the third inning. You know, it really applies to both these teams, so I really want to talk about them. So there we go. Well, not that one, that one. The 215, the local Legion team here in Richland County. Of course, a lot of these Blue Devils have played Legion with us, which is why I'm so hyped up to show this card. The 215, talking to Coach Joyce, saw him a lot last week, and the man just loves baseball. He was here for every single game last week. And of course, I saw him, he was watching his son play at Columbia International University.
You able to get some sleep after last week?
No, I didn't get enough sleep after last week. Get some tonight, though. Appreciate Sam looking out for me. He'll be one of those Legion players that played for Coach Joyce in this summer. He was asking me to make sure I got some sleep. I did not. I had a couple more games to call and a lot more hours to work. I did find a way to get the tomorrow off, though, after having supposed to work it. Anyways, back to the task at hand. Registration is open for 2026, as Coach Dorsey announced to be one AAA team, one senior team. So sign up, play Legion, it's free. And you'll be playing for a man that, I mean, genuinely loves the game of baseball. A lot of these Falcons play Legion. A lot of the Blue Devils already play Legion, so sign up today. Follow at Monarchs 803 for all those update teams. Coach Dorsey's actually posted the senior schedule for this upcoming season, as well as a couple more announcements. Again, only one AAA team coming up. Both Dreher and AC Flora feed in there. So yeah, play Legion. It's a great way to get ready for the community, and I mean, there's no other reason you shouldn't. First pitch is to the 9-hole Morris, a chopper to the second baseman. Oprowensky has it, throws on the first, one away, and I don't even really get to talk about Morris. Well, one pitch, one out here in the top of the third. Back to the top of the order we go. It's Luke Locker. The southpaw will see the right-hander for the second time today. He grounded out to Oprowensky to begin the game off of one pitch. Tyler will wind and deal the 0-1. Fastball called, strike one. Tyler has 4 punch-outs and 2 walks so far this evening. He'll fire the 0-1. Fastball a little wide, ball one. Both these kids play Legion. Of course, Tyler playing Legion a little bit for the senior team last year, and Locker was a big part of that AAA team, the red one that Higgins was also on. The 1-1. Fastball runs low, ball 2. The junior hitting .281 coming into today. 0 for 1 so far. Can he find it? The 2-1. Fastball spiked in. Dylan makes a nice stab at it to keep it in front of him. No one's on the base pass, though, and it's now 3-1. Well, between innings, you know, Sam was checking on my well-being. It's a long week for me at the Forest Acres Classic. You know, I come here for pretty much my entire day. Get here at 9, leave at 10, and then, of course, I have to go update all the stats. That's the real killer for me, I think. Updating every single stat that was accumulated from the day of work. You know, I got to put that all into form for me to see on paper to call tomorrow's games. And that's where the lack of sleep comes in. The 3-1. Fastball right down Broadway, called strike 2. It'll be a full count here to the leadoff man, Locker. Tyler will wind and deal. The payoff on the way. Now one shot to the left side is gloved over by the third baseman, Chetwood. He'll throw it across the diamond, and there's 2 away. Locker trying some inside-out hitting. Unable to find a path through the infield.
Up for the Devils,
and now it's the 2-hole Terry Cantlow. Cantlow grounded out to the shortstop. Joe Ray is first go around. And this Dreher team, very young and a lot of upside. They're facing a very senior-led Falcon team, just kind of the tale of 2 sides so far this game. AC Flora up 10-1. Right on right, Hernandez fires first pitch. Fastball, that one's lined down the right field line, but it will quickly hook foul. Cantlow, one of these young sophomores, coming in hitting .333 so far in the season. He'll await the 0-1. Fastball wide, ball 1. Tyler will wind and deal the 1-1. Curveball swung through and missed. Quickly nothing, or 1-2. That was on a string from Hernandez. I talked about the puppet master, of course, Sam McCutcheon. However, that one was Tyler's best curveball. Looking for his 5th punch out of the day. He's 1-2 ahead. The pitch on the way, the curveball stays up around the letters. 2-2, just missed.
Spot.
Deuce is wild, 2-2, the count, 2 away. Tyler will go into motion. The pitch on the way. Fastball, that one's lined on the right field line, but it will go foul yet again. Well, Dreher trying some opposite field hitting. It was the southpaw going to the left side of the diamond where Chetwood gloved it. Now, you see Cantlow trying to find that first base line, and so far, unsuccessful. 2-2 on the way. Fastball is wide, ball 3. No swing and misses. We'll run the count full now. 3-2, 2 outs, top of the third. Dreher looking for another base runner. They find themselves in a 9-run deficit here against the hosting AC Flora Falcons. The payoff on the way. Fastball low, ball 4. It's now the third walk of the game for Tyler. A 2-out base runner aboard for Dreher. The starting pitcher for the Blue Devils, who's in line for the loss, will step into the dish. The right-handed Joe Pullman struck out looking his first go-around. Can he help himself out on the hill? Dreher dugout coming a little alive over there. Right on right. First pitch on the way. Fastball wide, ball 1. Nice backhand from Dylan to keep it from going to the backstop. The 1-0. Fastball low and away, ball 2. If it gets that far, it's the cleanup hitter Cam Hagens awaits on deck, who walked and came around to score the only run of the game for Dreher. Now Dylan will come and talk to his brother. You know, I remember talking, again, he said he had to use these very sparingly when I talked to Dylan. You know, he said my favorite way to calm down a pitcher when they couldn't find the zone was to go talk to him. Of course, now with the new rules, you can only come out and have one mound visit as a team. And right now he's using it. We're right back here on Falcon Field. All right, we are back here at Falcon Field after a quick mound visit from Coach Hallett and the rest of the infield. It's a 2-0 count to the 3-hole Joe Pullman. 2 away here in the top of the third, and the runner on first, Terry Cantlow. Tyler kicks and deals to 2-0. Change-up called, ball 3. The snap back to first, not in time. Monty making an acrobatic play. Looked like had to go across his body, try to lay the tag on the other side of his body, unsuccessful. Tyler's in danger of walking back-to-back batters here. The 3-0. Fastball call, strike 1 on the outside edge as Hernandez finds the zone. The right-hander awaits. The 3-1 on the way. Fastball wide. Now back-to-back walks for Hernandez. Gives Dreher something brewing here. Well, 2 on, 2 out now for Cam Hagens. Back-to-back 2-out walks.
First baseman, number 12, Cam Hagens.
It's the right-hander. This is where he delivers. Hits .421 with runners in scoring position. It's behind Pullman for the team lead. He's got 2 on, 2 away. First pitch on the way. Fastball called, strike 1. Slots it on the outer third. Infield shading Hagens to the left. Joe Ray in the hole. The second baseman, Roper Wensky, playing pretty up the middle. Now he'll flash to the bag, and Tyler steps off. Cantlow. Looked like he had a decent-sized lead, but not big enough to not allow him to get back to the bag, or not really big enough to go, of course, unless a ball potentially gets away from the catcher. The 0-1. Fastball sped by Hagens. A swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Well, Tyler, who's been a strikeout pitcher this season, he leads this team with 35 coming into the day, looking for number 40 after he's already had 4 tonight. He's ahead 0-2. The pitch, runners go, is called ball 1. The throw in a second up the double steal is in time. Rocalo got a great jump. Pullman did not, and that's how the inning will end. We'll be right back here at Falcon Field, a 10-1 lead for AC Flora. All right, I do want to mess with the camera a little bit. Hopefully just clear the picture up a tad. It was a little grainy, so do what I can. Well, the Falcons ahead 10-1. They'll come up, bring up the top of the order here in the bottom of the third. It's Scott Wensky Hernandez. First pitch to Charlie is called ball 1 inside. Left on right is Morris back out there for some more fun. Charlie 1 for 2 today. He had a double his last go around. The 1-0. Breaking ball called, strike 1, slot in the outer third. This will be the first time Charlie faces Morris. His first 2 at-bats were against Pullman. The 1-1. Changeup just stays in, tight ball 2. The Citadel commit has been raking, and I said his numbers, 15 of his last 24 coming into the day. He's been on fire. I don't think I really mentioned just how kind of incredible that is. The 2-1s pop foul, 2-2. You know, in those last 5 games, well, that doesn't include the last, it's 15 and 24. But Charlie, 9 for 15, 7 doubles. Now he has 8 after the double he had last at bat. He awaits the 2-2. Changeup bounces in, and Scott watches ball 3 cross. It'll be a full count to the leadoff man here for AC Flora in the bottom of the third. Morris out of the windup. The payoff on the way. It's popped into the air on the right side out of play. It's going toward the Falcon dugout, and it will fall out of play. Morris will wind and deal the payoff one more time. That one slapped the other way and will go foul down the right field line. A defensive swing from Charlie, not wanting to get rung up on a pitch. May have caught the top part of the zone. So the umpire has called that behind the plate. Now the 3-2, one more time. His pop foul right behind home plate will go out of play yet again. Charlie battling. Amos doing Morris, doing a good job of keeping Charlie at bay, not giving him a pitch to hit. The payoff yet again. That one's hammered to deep center field, but right at Cantlow. He'll make a couple steps in and make the grab for out number 1. After a battle between Morris and Scott, it goes to the southpaw and out number 1.
Step in the
Now
box,
it's Roper
number
Wensky.
7, second baseman,
The right-hander
Roper
1 for 2
Wensky.
with an RBI today. First pitch to the right-handers outside for ball 1.
Stay right down with it.
Amos winds and deals the 1-1 to Roper. Called strike 1, change up on the inside edge. Well, these Falcons playing along with what their tune's been all season. They average 8 runs per game. They have a 10-1 lead now here in the bottom of the 3rd. The 1-1. Breaking ball misses wide, ball 2. Two and 1 on the way. Fastball has popped up into the air in left field. Coming on is Knepp, the left fielder calling everyone off and makes the one-handed grab for out number 2. After a 12-batter inning last inning, Morris has a chance to go 1-2-3. Standing in his way is Dylan Hernandez.
The catcher, number 12, Dylan Hernandez.
The right-handers reach on a walk and an error so far this evening. Can you continue what's been a great junior campaign for him? Also coming into the game in the left was John Reynolds, actually, not Knepp. Of course, it's hard to see who goes in the game with these all-black jerseys here. I will say, I was a little shocked they wore them with the heat. The 0-1, that is popped into the air in the infield. Right, the shortstop goes back right behind the second base bag, and Locker will make the grab. A 1-2-3 inning for Morris. A nice start for him. And the Falcons will maintain their 10-1 lead going to the 4th. Welcome back to Falcon Field. Well, it looks like Reynolds was the only Blue Devil to sneak by me that's entered the lineup. For the Falcons, they can't sneak anyone by me. I know this team a little too well. Tyler goes into right field after 3 innings of work.
Leading off for Dreher, first
Replace
baseman,
Lucas
number
Price, who will
12,
come to the plate,
Hayden.
come to the rubber. The southpaw has been excellent in relief so far this season. It'll be Higgins to lead it off. The southpaw versus the righty here to begin the 4th. First pitch on the way. Fastball called, strike 1. Well, Lucas has been the first man out of the bullpen. That has belonged to a couple really key Falcons in their seasons the last couple years. Hank Collins, Ryan Harrelson, a couple years ago, is the 0-1 is called, strike 2. Change up on the outside edge. Last year it belonged to Luke Shalcom. Now Lucas Price making his 7th appearance on the hill this season. The 0-2. It's a fastball bounced in. Ball 1. A 0.75 ERA over 9 in the 3rd inning pitched. Lucas gets 2 wins on the season. Only 1 earned run allowed. And that earned run came against the Wildcats of Lexington, where he actually got, technically not the win, but he had probably the bulk of the work against Lexington late in that game. After Tyler started, they went to Lucas, and then Joe Ray was able to pick up the win. Of course, if you ask Lucas, he may say he did more of the work than Joe, but Joe Ray was able to lock down the Wildcats late in that game. Higgins awaits the 1-2. Fastball got him looking, strike 3, froze him on the heater, and there's now 1 away. The first strikeout for Lucas Price.
Step to the plate,
That's
number
now
10, Josiah Maratita.
We'll dig into the right-handed box. Josiah Maratita went down looking his first go-around. Now the right-hander awaits the first pitch from Price. Is pop foul right behind home plate out of play. A couple of Falcons here in the house to watch their baseball team go to work. The Falcons ranked number 8 in the Power 25, released by Diamond Preps last week. The 0-1. Curveball called, strike 2. That breaks right across the heart of the plate, or no, called ball 1 it looked like. It looked like it broke right across the center. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here in the top of the 4th. Lucas kicks and deals the pitch. Fastball inside, ball 2. Price out of his close stance in the rubber will kick and deal the 2-1. That one's on the ground to the third baseman, backhanded by Jetwood. The throw into first is in time and 2 away. Tough play from the third baseman, but Jetwood, who's switched as more of a third baseman this year after playing most of his Falcon career at shortstop, has had a great switch. That backhand not easy to make, and he made it look smooth.
Up for Dreher, number 14, John Reynolds.
So John Reynolds will replace Lincoln Robinson in the order. Reynolds came into left field last inning. Now the right-hander awaits the southpaw. First pitch on the way. Fastball wide, ball 1. Reynolds a 150 average with 1 RBI so far coming into this season. The 1-0. Swung through and missed. High heat, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike on the way. The pitch, fastball in tight, ball 2. A little quiet here at Falcon Field, unusually. The 2-1, swung through and missed. Change up low in the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away now, top of the 4th. Price looking for a 1-2-3 inning here. The first AC Flora 1-2-3 inning since the opening frame. 2-2 on the way. Fastball, that one's on the ground to the right side, and that will find a hole into right field. Tyler comes out wanting to fire, but of course, the announcer will not jinx it until it happens. That is the first hit for Dreher this evening. It belongs to John Reynolds.
Number 6.
You never want to say it, especially such early in a game, but Tyler had allowed no hits to Dreher, just 4 walks. And Lucas allows now the first hit to the Blue Devils, and they'll look to add to it. It'll be Chase Washington in. Southpaw v. Southpaw. Price, first pitch on the way. Curveball called, strike 1, backing Washington off the plate. While talking to Tyler, who bats lefty last week in the Classic, gave me some insight. I asked him what makes a lefty-lefty matchup so hard. He said it doesn't usually happen. You get it once every couple weeks. It's that rare lefty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 is rolled over to the right side and foul. Quickly, Washington falls behind, 0-2. Washington went down swinging back against Tyler. Again, Lucas Get him again. Price winds and deals the 0-2. Fastball, that one's grounded over to the third baseman. Glove by Chetwood yet again. Makes the surefire throw to first and is in time. Price avoids the 1-2-3 inning, but we'll go 4 up, 3 down. Dreher finds their first hit, but AC Flora still leads 10-1. We'll move to the bottom of the 4th.
Nothing doing for the Devils in the top of the 4th. Your score.
Of course, I get to talk about our other sponsor, Coach Dorsey, coaches the 215. He also owns his own company, the Big Red Box Dumpster Company. They're an all-inclusive private waste disposal company that deliver dumpsters to residential driveways, construction sites, businesses, wherever you need it, they'll deliver it to. You don't even see him on the side of Gervais Street that runs right through the heart of Columbia. So, how do you order? Go to www.bigredboxdumpstercompany.com or call 803-783-6834 to book a dumpster today. Of course, delivering to the local Midland area. A 10-1 lead for the Falcons as Dreher will take the field. A huddle in front of the Falcon dugout. We'll be right back here. As it looks hopefully not too long of a break. Welcome back to Falcon Field. It's a 10-1 lead for AC Flora heading to the bottom of the 4th. Another defensive substitution. Nolan Fernandez will come in at third base. He takes over for Chase Washington, who ended the last inning. And now it's the heart of the order, 4-5-6 for AC Flora against Landon Morris, who's been locked down so far. First pitch against the southpaw, breaking ball inside. Another rare lefty-lefty matchup. So far, Morris has been locked down, only allowing AC Florida 1 hit and 1 earned run since he entered the ballgame. The 1-0 curveball dips a little low, bounces past Amos, the catcher. It's 2-0. On the way. Call, strike 1, change up on the inside edge. Well, Tyler 2 for 2 today, a double and a single. As the 2-1 from Morris on the way, the breaking ball off the hands and flared on the left side of the infield. Coming on the shortstop block, already makes the two-handed grab for out number 1. Well, AC Flora has their way with Pullman, but Landon Morris proved to be a little tougher of a task. He's now retired the last 5 Falcon hitters. Can Jack Chetwood break the trend? He's 1 for 1 with a single, 2 RBIs today. First pitch on the way to the right-hander. That one's lined right back into center field. Cantlow takes a couple steps in, then goes back, and it will fall over his head. Chetwood on his horse to second. He will stand in with a 1-out double. AC Flora putting some balls right back towards Cantlow, and that ball just carrying on in the center fielder today. Now a runner on second and 1 out for Monty Lafitte.
Step to the plate, number 32, first baseman Monty Lafitte.
Lafitte looking for his first hit of the evening, and more notably for Falcon fans, that runner at second will be a run rule in the next inning if AC Flora keeps that 10-run lead. Right-hander for the southpaw, first pitch, that one's on the ground, the right side, past the diving Muratita into right field. Coming around third is Chetwood. Monty Lafitte will try to take second off the bobble in right field, and he will stand in. It'll be a hit and an error. The Falcons lead it 11-1. Well, right on cue, Monty does his job. A hit to the right side
Now
of the infield.
batting,
Moratia can't grab it.
Number 9, Joe.
Now he'll switch places with Shetwood. The Falcons have a 10-run
Number
lead.
9.
It's enough for a run roll in the top of the 5th if they get there. They're looking to end it here, though. Right-hander awaits first pitch from the southpaw, called ball 1. Change up inside. Well, for those who are unaware, not my thing. I don't like saying it, but I have to say it. It's 10 runs through 5 and 15 through 3. The 1-0 is off the hands of Ray and popped into the air. Will go to the right side and out of play. So basically, the long and short of it is AC Flora needs 5 more runs this inning if they want to end the game now. If not, they'll go to the top of the 5th, and Dreher has to at least score a run to keep it away. 1-1. Fastball out of the box. And the left side, 2-1. Morris delivers the 2-1. That one's hammered to deep left field, but Reynolds got a read. He'll drift back toward the track and make the grab for out number 2. Well, Joe Ray is not known for his power. Sent a strikeout to left field. It was right at Reynolds, and now there's 2 away.
Stepping in the box for the Birds, number 28.
Now it's Rohan Bremer up for the 3rd time today. Bremer has a double and a walk here against these Blue Devils. Another right-handed bat here against Morris. Infield will shift him all the way to the left. First pitch from the southpaw. Breaking ball is tapped foul. It's 0-1. Bremer out of front of that breaking ball. You know, it's so hard for AC Flora. You face all these, high throwing arms, and Morris, who doesn't have the most velocity they faced in the last week, but he's slotting them in beautifully. The 0-1. Change up just a tad low for ball 1. Of course, it was Ryder Carlson for AC Flora a week ago against Lexington. Then the Miller School, I believe it's now Drew Wade against AC Flora. Before Emerson Rose delivered it. 1-1. That ball is popped foul to the right side. Quickly 1-2. 3 great pitchers AC Flora has faced. 3 of the best pitchers they faced all season. Of course, I believe the top one was probably maybe Johnny Collins for an inning, or they've faced Brennan New in the IP Classic Championship. The 1-2. Changeup stays inside. Ball 2. And I believe Cooper Jones was who AC Flora slotted against James Island. That was a great game in game number 2. If you have to put a signature win for AC Flora, that is it. The 2-2. Fastball that stays ahead of Rohan Bremer goes way upstairs for ball 3. It'll fill the count up. If it gets that far, Logan Price awaits on deck. The 3-2 on the way. Fastball swung through and missed. Strikeout number 1 for Morris, and that gets out of the inning. AC Flora can finish it off. They have to stave off a run. Can Dreher extend the game? Are we finished after this next one? We'll find out when we come back. Welcome back to Falcon Field. It's Dreher AC Flora live on Definite Fiction. Will be the last baseball game we do for about a week and a half. And it should be hopefully a fun finish. AC Flora needing to stave off one Blue Devil run. They lead by 10. And so if Dreher can put one more on the scoreboard, this ball game's over. If not, or excuse me, if Dreher does not put one on the scoreboard, this ball game's over. If they do, then we will play at least the bottom half of the inning.
Step to the box for the Devils, number 18 catcher Preston Amos.
It'll be Lucas Price back on the hill. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Blue Devils. Amos, Morris, and Lockard. First pitch, the right-hander awaits, is on the way, and it's a fastball called. Strike one on the outside edge. Amos went down looking against Hernandez back in the second inning. That's how the second inning ended. Tyler technically struck out the side, but allowed 2 walks and one of them to come home to score on a wild pitch. The 0-1. Fastball low in the dirt, ball 1. Or actually, I guess it wasn't a wild pitch per se. It was throw back to third that went into left field. A little different scenario there. 1 ball, 1 strike here. Price fires. The pitch is a high bouncer to the right side. It'll hit the net and foul. Be 1-2. Again, these two teams will play on Thursday at Dreher before AC Flora finishes up the week against Lugoff. The 1-2 on the way. Curveball swung through and missed. Got him swinging. First strikeout number 2 and out number 1 here in the 5th.
Step to the plate, the pitcher, number 7.
So now it's Landon Morris. Now the pitcher here for these Blue Devils. He has been very, very good on the hill. 2 2/3 innings, only allowed 2 earned runs to AC Flora, 3 hits. Relieving Joseph Pullman, he's been incredible on the hill. Lefty on lefty, first pitch on the way, curveball called, strike 1 is Morris now the second straight left-hander hitter to kind of turn away from that breaking ball that finds the zone. Uses a telltale sign it's a good breaking ball. The 0-1. Curveball called, strike 2 on top of the zone. Quickly, 0-2 here against Morris. He grounded out to Wensky his first go around. This will be the 4th pitch he sees so far today. The 0-2. Breaking ball is tapped foul and Morris stays alive. Well, the young sophomore hitting .227 coming into today. 3 RBIs for these Blue Devil teams, and having some good innings on the mound. Against Sumter last week, he gave up 2 earned runs over 1 inning. He's a very good Gamecock squad. Price kicks and deals the 0-2. Fastball low and away, ball 1. After 3 straight curveballs, it's hard to lay off the heater. Morris does a good job to keep the bat in his shoulder. Price winds and deals the 1-2. Fastball just a tad outside, ball 2. After he was ahead 0-2, Lucas now 2 straight out of the zone, and Dylan calls time. You gotta get the umpire's attention. And now he gets back down. It'll be 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the Blue Devils keep this game going. 2's on the way. Is tapped foul. The fastball. It'll stay 2-2. After Morris, it's Luke Lockard, the last man in the order on the on-deck circle. Or the first man in the order. It's late-ish. 2-2. Swung through and missed after back-to-back heaters. It's the breaking ball that gets Morris down on strikes. And now Dreher's down to their final out in this one.
Up for Dreher, number 1, shortstop Luke Lockard.
Well, Luke Lockard is
Number 1.
grounded out now to the second baseman and the third baseman today. He had a well-struck ball his last time around, but Jack Chetwood made it look like light work. Infield will play him back. The southpaw will dig in. First time against Lucas Price. First pitch from Price is a breaking ball wide in the right-handed box. It's ball 1. Now time called from Dylan. He'll come out and talk to Lucas. Well, Dreher in danger of dropping 3 in 11. They've dropped their last 5 games. And from his dad, straight from the source, it looks like it'll be Cam Higgins will be the probable starter for these Blue Devils on Thursday. It looks like he'll get a matchup with Sam McCutcheon for AC Flora. AC Flora's been pretty good about keeping their 2 starters on regular rest. Only time we saw was a little off was Sam, who pitched a day early last week. The 1-0 swung through a curveball in the dirt, 1-1. Of course, Higgins was such a good closer for the AAA team. Jeff Rose tried to pull him over to AC Flora. His dad said no. He's staying at Dreher and doing pretty well for him. The 1-1. Breaking ball called, strike 2, hits the top of the zone, and now the Blue Devils down to their final strike. Can Price shut it down on the mound? 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, 2 away in the top of the 5th. He'll kick and deal the pitch. Fastball low. Lockhart keeps the bat in his shoulder, and he'll go another pitch. It's 2-2. Now Price delivers a 2-2. Ball on the ground to the third baseman. Chetwood's got it. Throws it across the bag in time. The Falcons finish off a run rule 10-run win. It's 11-1 is your final score, and AC Flora improves to 13-5 on the season. Dreher will drop to 3-11. These 2 teams will play Thursday as AC Flora stays perfect in their region. They are now 7-0. Dreher now 1-6 in the region play. Well, AC Flora, after 2 straight losses, get back on the right side of the win column. They will continue what's been a very good start to the year and move to the back half of the season with playoffs in mind. Well, Thursday night we'll be at Dreher. Jeff and I will be doing lacrosse Thursday. It'll be Bishop England and AC Flora. The Falcons back on the ice as they now are in game 2 of a rough final 4-game stretch for the lacrosse team. It should be a lot of fun. Me and Jeff will be on the call for that. And yeah, I believe that will be the final game this week. A much tamer week than I feel like it's been for the past couple here on Definite Fiction. We appreciate you joining me. That will do it from me. I guess I get the lovely chance to break down. And yeah, so it's been fun. This was more of a chiller game from me after I did a lot of work last week. Just get to kind of chill and have some fun this week. I'll see y'all in the next one.